Yeah, I'll show you the good stuff, right?
Hey, that looks like an Evo 8 that you're driving around. It's just interesting to see that, well, like Square-Enix is a good example. Everything they touch lately, you know, one of the things that has always been said about Square-Enix is overall they produce relatively very good quality games. Look how many they produce though. They don't come out with 1 billion plus games. They come out with a couple per year. That's it. So, you know, that's why I'm really afraid of that whole cookie cutter, you know, engine concept. I don't think it's a good idea. I'd rather see the long-term development go into it.
Well, it could be used, like I said, if it's used properly, it could be great, because it could be used to make smaller projects to finance larger ones. It could very well be a good idea, but it has to be used correctly. And unfortunately, there's a lot of companies out there in the industry that are kind of proven that they can't be trusted to do something like that.
Yeah, they just want their money. Yay. Maxis is probably one of the worst right now. They took a historically decent product and have ruined it, and ruined the namesake. And they say it's, you know, not their fault, EA pushed them into it, but I can't believe that at all. I mean, I really can't.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I figure we're talking, so I'm just kind of driving around randomly.
How far in the story? What you got to show off in this game, because, you know, right now it looks more like a GTA, is how it's not GTA.
True. That is what I love about this game, is that I actually... I like this a little more than the GTA series. I'm looking forward to them making another one. It sounds like they might, actually. I don't know, Square-Enix has been in this weird spot where they're not making a lot of money, and they're making some bad decisions.
Well, they got rid of, they've got rid of their CFO and a couple other people that they changed out, and I'm not very comfortable with the people they put in there, because the people they put in there came from failed projects from other game sources that had failed. So I'm very worried for Square-Enix right now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Well, Square-Enix looks like they're sounding like they're interested more in mobile and possibly in downloadable content, and that's kind of, ooh, that's getting dangerous. That's getting close to...
Mobile, right now I can tell you for a fact, is the biggest growing segment. Just from the sheer number of iPads and iOS devices out there alone, how could it not be? There are more iPads sold than there are PCs. That should give you an idea. It's a huge market that is untapped, and they want a piece of the pie, and EA was the first one to really take a cut of that with Firemint and Real Racing 3. I mean, it's made their stupid free-to-play title that cost them a fraction to make of what their full AAA titles like Need for Speed has costed them, has banked them more money than all of the titles from all of their games for the last 10 years. I mean, that says something, how powerful the mobile market is. It's huge. So, and it could be very, very good if done right. But if EA is the only player in the market, it's not going to get done right. That's the problem. They need competition to kind of settle things out. Gameloft is the next biggest one. They historically have decent games, but recently their pricing structure has gone astronomically absurd, and they're extremely buggy games. So we'll have to see, because, you know, what has not happened yet is there hasn't been a full AAA title developed on a mobile platform that could also be played on, say, like an Xbox. The mobile platforms are completely capable of it now, especially with the control schemes they've got out now.
Yeah, well, that was what that device, the Ouya, was supposed to try and help facilitate, but it's looking like that's going...
Yeah. It never could get enough traction, though. That was the problem.
Well, they sent out the preview models, and of course the problem is that by the time they put it together, the tech in it is so a little bit behind, because cell phone tech has moved ahead. And of course, the problem with that, though, is that cell phone tech is affordable mainly because of contracts.
Not only that, but look at the iPads. People are buying iPads in bulk numbers, and you don't have contracts on iPads. But what people are buying iPads for, the reason they're buying them is because it's not because it's a mobile gaming platform, which is what the whole Oyo's intent is, but is because it's a multi-function device that can do a whole bunch of different things. And that's where I think the Oyo and like the PS3, that's where those guys fail, is they're designed to do one thing. They do it real well, yes, but they only do that one thing. That's not why people are buying mobile devices. People are buying mobile devices to simplify their lives. Look at the cell phone. Look, I mean, when they first came out with the stupid camera for the cell phone, I thought, oh God, I'm never going to use that. Who the fuck is going to use a camera on their phone? Ha! I use it all the time now, you know? So, and that's just it. Look at this. Combat is awesome in this game. How far along are... Oh, you went the police route, didn't you?
I really haven't had a choice. I've done all the police missions, but I've also done as much stuff I can for the triad too, so...
See, I tried to go more for the triads, but I'm that way, so, you know. Chaos and disorder, yeah, I like that. Can make money off of that. Peace, peace is... Yeah, you don't make any money in peace. War, that's where it's at. That's where you make your money. But, yeah, it's really interesting. So, to see where the mobile market's going to go, because the iPad, yeah, they were the first ones there, but now you've got some really amazingly powerful tablets by, you know, the Android guys. And you've got NVIDIA jumping in on board, specifically making dedicated hardware that is as good as some desktop video cards now. So, it's there. It can be done. It remains to be seen who's going to do it first and what it's going to be, what kind of platform it's going to be. But mobile's huge, and that's why I think Microsoft is kind of wondering where they're going to go with this, because they're failing phone and slash failing tablet. The reason one of the things they were really pushing is, I can't remember which game it was, but it was a game you could play on the Xbox and then picked up from the exact same spot you were on the Xbox on your mobile device. That, I think, is going to be a pretty big concept moving forward for a lot of people. Especially those of us who are time limited. Because if I could play the same game, pick up where I left off on my PC, and have just slightly lower graphics and play it on my iPad, why not? That'd be pretty cool. So, I don't know. Is my sound coming through the stream, by the way? I don't mean if it is, I'll turn it down.
Not other than you talking? No.
Oh, good. Because I'm dying horribly with all these bad guys attacking me. Not?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look at it. Look at this. You can't do this with this kind of a combat. It's hard to see actually looking at this, Troy. One of the things I'm noticing now is it's hard to tell how fluid the combat feels by watching it. But it is very fluid. I mean,
basically, you think of Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and that's what this game plays like.
Exactly. Except you get to do better. Because I love how you can use the environment in this, though, to fight with. You know. Have you seen some of the weird combos you can do? What you can throw them into and whatnot?
Phew.
Yeah, I was close.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to like do different things to kind of show it off.
Yeah.
If I can.
Have you actually held a shotgun to somebody yet? See what they do? They react differently than the pistol.
Really?
Yeah, they start running away.
I don't blame them.
Fuck, and they run away. Tell you what, if somebody pointed a shotgun at me, I'd probably do the same thing. Unless I had a gun to shoot back.
So, the shield he's asking about, the shield from NVIDIA, does it have a future? Well, let me see. If I remember correctly, the NVIDIA Shield is designed to be kind of like a streaming device to put your PC footage into kind of a handheld thing, right? Is that what that device is?
I'm trying to remember, was the Shield their new mobile one for like the Android guys? I can't remember which one that is. Because of course they've got the Tegra, but they've got the new one that's coming out besides the Tegra.
Trying to remember because I haven't been able to keep a mobile console.
Yeah, okay, that's their mobile console that they're developing. The problem is, I hope NVIDIA can get over this. From a programming standpoint, a lot of people don't understand this. When you program on x86, it has a very specific. That's your, the PCs and Xbox. It has a very specific compiler that you need, and of course, and software that runs the compiler and all that crap. When you compile for different chips, the ARM architecture, which is your typical mobile device, has a completely different compiler, and you are therefore limited by a completely different set of programming rules, which make it hard because you've got to find experts who are good with that. And on the ARM architecture, it's a lot more limited in what you can do graphics-wise. At least it has been. The whole concept of the Shield with NVIDIA, when they were coming out with it, is to basically take a video processor like the Tegra, combine it with the ARM architecture that we typically see in mobile devices for the CPU, and then come up with basically a version of DirectX for that platform that doesn't exist, or OpenGL, some sort of standardized graphic development interface, because it doesn't exist right now. And that's the biggest thing holding mobile back right now. There are no common graphics engines you can go by. The very first one that got created was actually for iOS, the eyes, and it, of course, was the Unreal Engine. Got ported over. Now, of course, it's also on the Android side. That is the first set of tools, and that's why you see a lot of games out there that look very similar in their cookie-cutter graphics, such as Dungeon Hunter, whatnot. The very first engine that was redeveloped for racing was, of course, Firemint and the new Real Racing 3. That was a ground-up engine, but optimized for just one thing. So I hope the Shield takes traction in that respect alone, because it will give mobile a much stronger edge to program for. Just like PCs have DirectX, of course DirectX is also on the Xbox. Sony has had a real hard time with their PlayStation 3 getting a lot of developers to make games for their platform at first. As you've noticed, if you go into like a GameStop, there are a lot less PlayStation 3 games than there are Xbox games. And that's simply because they, again, went with a different compiler, different architecture than x86. They had to go with their own new, I forget what the hell it's called, but from a programmer standpoint, it's a pain in the ass to use because you've got to, again, learn a new way to program for their system. So if you can get around stuff like that, and that's why Apple is, of course, also coming up with their answer to the Shield, saying, well, the next version of whatever they're coming out with, rumor mill has it, of course, is that they're basically working on a standardized graphic interface for the iOS, which will be akin to DirectX, so that game manufacturers can make really good-looking games a lot easier, which, again, then turns more profit for everybody. So the Shield, is it doomed from start? Yes, if they can't get the developers to jump on board. So far, there haven't been a lot of developers, which is really sad, because I was hoping it'd get more traction there. The Oyo, however, is a standard, or however you pronounce that thing, is not a customized thing. It is a generic ARM architecture device, which means it will run whatever somebody else comes up with as well. So it actually has more traction at this point, and we'll have to see which one takes effect. I'm a big fan of the mobile because I'm a pilot and I'm all over the place, and I don't want to haul a fucking laptop around with me anymore because it's just a pain in the ass. So I see the mobile, the iPads in particular right now, quality-wise, is a really good alternative for gaming if they get their buzz together and get on. Look at that, you can't do some of this stuff, this kind of combat, in any of the GTAs. Although it's going to be interesting to see now that stuff like this has been out where the new GTA goes, because supposedly you can with the brand new one coming out.
Yeah, GTA 5 is actually looking pretty good from what I've seen. I'm kind of interested in it.
I am.
Yeah,
it's an open world for you though, man. I don't think you're going to like it.
The good news about the Ouya appears to be that they have taken the feedback to heart about the system specs and people concerned about that, and I think they might be looking into enhancing it some more. I mean, the problem is that people have been rating it based on a preview copy, which was very much said not to be ready. So you've got things like Metacritic scores and things like that
about
this thing, which is not finished.
Yeah, it's not a finished product. So.
And you don't want to get me started on my feelings about Metacritic. All right, I'm pissed.
I actually think it's pretty good when it works for what it was meant to be, but people abuse the system.
Well, exactly. But the problem is that people use Metacritic scores. Publishers use Metacritic scores to pay bonuses to developers.
Yeah,
and this
again,
is bad. All right,
this
is no bueno, no es good. Yeah. All right.
How do you say muy bad?
Muy malo, I think. Daikirai in Japanese, if you want to go that far.
What's Russian for no? Just say that.
Niet.
Niet. That it's just niet. Yeah.
Niet. Nein. Nunca. All right. You know, when I find out that the team that did, what was it, New Vegas? Who was that? Was that Obsidian?
Obsidian. I think so. Yeah.
That they didn't get paid for, you know, money that they were pretty much promised because of a Metacritic score. You know, by 1%.
See, I think what the developer did is they copped out and used Metacritic as an excuse. I think they had every intention of canceling their contracts anyway.
And the thing is there's been studio firings over Metacritic. It's happened.
Yeah, I think it's their legal cop out. It gives them an excuse, even though it's not the right one. I think it's that we don't want to fucking pay you for your work you did, which is.
Is this kind of like the Modern Warfare guy that got canned, like right after Modern Warfare 3 got released, and he didn't get his bonus before he was canned?
Absolutely, I think it's akin to that. That's the way the industry is going, and you know we've got multiple reports of that in the development areas, but from stuff. So it's common. It's commonplace now. It's common practice, and that's the scary part. Is this shit is becoming common. They're breaking contracts, and I mean these developers have legally binding contracts, right? And then you've got the developers saying, "Well, we're going to break it because of this." Yeah, it's a cop out, but what's your recourse? You as the individual then have to go sue the developer who has a lot more money. Yeah, that's going to happen.
Spiral Down, just so you know, I mean, because you can obviously tell that this more than likely isn't Marvel Heroes. I don't know. I mean, this is the new skin for the Punisher, I guess. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go with that. It's down. The game is currently down.
Yeah, that would be a little disjarring. You might want to change your title. I didn't think of that.
Suppose I could. I don't know. I mean, the game is has basically been brought down for a patch. It was it's going to be down for a few hours, supposedly.
That's funny. I didn't think about people joining in just now, thinking Marvel. Yeah, it's up. No. Oh, wait a minute. Sleeping Dogs.
That's why I'm not playing Marvel right now, is because the servers went down for a patch, and that's why you won't be able to get any there. They took it down, and yeah, this will be release day when it comes back up. I believe they should. Everybody that wants to play should be able to play when that happens. Yeah, you know what? This guy could be a Punisher skin. I could totally see it.
An Asian Punisher, yeah, I could. You know, yeah, I'll give you that. But yeah, it's becoming common practice for these guys to basically can the development team literally a week before the product goes gold. And it's a very. That's why I say the whole gaming community right now. That's why you see so many promising games that are getting canceled was because of stuff like this, and because the top heads at EA or whoever are basically dickheads and saying, well, we're going to do this and have bad business practices. And why would it develop? It's sad to see. So I'm not sure what the fix is, other than pay the people what they're owed, and that's kind of a common business practice there.
What? But what's he gonna do?
What's the phrase? You gotta pay to play? Yeah, I guess.
Look, I need you to be straight with me. Is he gonna blow my cover?
Look, I don't know what he'll do. Not anymore. Wait, just come back with me now. You're a good man. We can
Let's
fix
see.
this.
What about Blizzard resetting Titan? Yeah, that was an interesting.
Jackie, not now. I'm busy.
I'm gonna admit, hearing that they pushed Titan back. Yeah, I guess it's not entirely unexpected because
Look, it's Jackie. I need to go.
their other project that they were supposed to be out with by now, Blizzard All-Stars, just hasn't happened. I'll answer this because it is directly related to Marvel. Do people have early access? Was there progress? No. The last wipe was when it went from beta to early access. But yeah, Titan has been pushed back. It's looking like what they're going to redesign the whole thing, which I find that to be interesting. They're probably looking at vamping up their tech, because one thing that Blizzard does well is use older systems to make the game scalable. Like, look at WoW. WoW is a modified Warcraft 3 engine, for God's sakes. Yeah. So they're probably updating it to do more of what they want to do. But it's not surprising, though, that they're probably doing this to reappropriate resources to things like Blizzard All-Stars. What is Blizzard All-Stars going to be? No idea. That is probably their push for E3, though. Because it's something that everybody's been wanting. It was supposed to come out with StarCraft Heart of the Swarm. Or was it supposed to come out with StarCraft originally? Just StarCraft 2?
StarCraft 2, yeah.
So, yeah, it's like... Where is this thing? Is it going to be a StarCraft map anymore? We don't know. Yeah, it's more than like it's a MOBA. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, because it was originally Blizzard Dota. So it was going to do it through a StarCraft map, though, which is of course where Dota got its start, right? With Warcraft map, I believe. But we don't know if it's still going to be a map, or if they're going to do something completely different with it. Is it going to be a free-to-play, full-blown game? Is it going to be a separate download? Don't really know. I mean, that's the problem. They've been so quiet about what's going on with that game.
Well, in their defense, though, that is the one thing they can be fairly quiet about it, because one, they've got the Blizzard name behind them, and two, they're still privately traded. So they can't. If they're...
Well, yeah, and I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing.
They don't have to report to any stockholders.
Yeah, so. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that it means that there is no information that we really have. We can't really determine what their next course of action is going to be, what their next move is. I'm pretty sure, though, that it's going to be something on Blizzard All-Stars, simply because Hearthstone has already been majorly announced. Hearthstone, let's face it, if you look at some of the footage they've got, Hearthstone is probably in a near-finished state. So they're probably getting ready to release that. They're probably tuning it, tweaking it. They might be adding content, but the game itself, as far as the engine is concerned, looks like it might be near feature complete. I mean, we can't tell, obviously, without having a beta or anything like that. But all the footage suggests that the game is in a very workable state. I mean, they've been broadcasting matches on it. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure E3 is not going to be focusing on Hearthstone. I'm pretty sure it's going to be all their Blizzard Dota or Blizzard All-Stars thing.
Well, what they're saying, this is interesting for E3. This next year, they are going to have a dedicated mobile segment. If you actually read their literature, they've got a dedicated floor spot now for mobile. That should tell you how big mobile is right there. Going back to something we were talking about earlier. If you go to the website, it's up. You can see it. You can even see the floor space of where it's going to be. That's interesting. First year that's ever happened.
I said E3. I may have missed, but because they're doing BlizzCon. I'm sorry. They're doing BlizzCon. My apologies. Are they doing E3? Do they usually do E3?
Blizzard usually has a small presence at E3, but it's not huge. And they haven't had a lot of new stuff coming out lately, and that's what E3 is. Oh, look at me, I'm new and shiny. Yeah,
and we know they've got BlizzCon coming up, so BlizzCon is the place to do major announcements. So
so it'll be interesting to see what they do. How much? What I want to know would be they're not going to release it, of course, but it'd be interesting to find out how much development resources have gone into some of their ones coming out lately. From, of course, they got to take it from somewhere, from the other projects they've got going on, such as World of Warcraft and whatnot. It'd be very interesting to see their financial breakdown. Of course, we never will, unless they become public, which would be a very bad move on their part. Is it, who sucked up Westwood? Was that Blizzard?
I'll pay now.
Ooh, Westwood Studios?
Yeah, who
Didn't that
sucked
go to
up?
EA? Because they did Generals.
Enjoy.
Yeah, you're right, went to EA.
Yeah, Westwood used to be one of those companies that was really good, just like, oh, that was a horrible pun, sir. That was a horrible pun. Extreme cons, no pros. Westwood was another studio that rivaled Blizzard when it came to doing what they did, you know. Yep, Westwood was in charge of Command & Conquer, Red Alert, and all that. And they were just like Blizzard. They would not release a game annually. They would not release it until they were ready, you know? I mean, it was like Warcraft and all that. I mean, that is what they did.
I can remember 2 patches for Red Alert. Has it? And then the expansions. Has it? You know? Wow, how things have changed.
I know, then it went to EA and...
There's so many bugs, you can hack the system and steal money from the company. I mean, wow. What a turn of events.
What a twist! Alright, I gotta see what's going on here.
Hold it right there.
Yeah,
Head him
I
down,
do
Neil
too.
Shoes.
This is a great game. How far have you gotten through on this? You're ahead of me, obviously. Did you get any of the DLC that came with this one?
Oh, he's clean.
I don't think I have yet.
Go ahead.
I know I bought that car, by the way, which is freaking awesome. The car with machine guns. I mean, come on. You just, yeah.
Yeah, I have kind of want to get that just because it's got the car itself has machine guns. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like playing Carmageddon, you know, 4. It's just awesome. If you want to wreak havoc, you can. You know what amazes me about games like this is if you actually look at the development cycles of well, this is a very specific area, so they're going to model this. But in a lot of the open world environments, they actually have algorithms model the city for them. A lot of this art that's put in is no longer hand done. It's added by computers, saying, "Hey, there should be a fan here." It's just it's interesting how good they're getting at this stuff. Grab his hair, even though he doesn't have any.
Don't be afraid of this idiot.
Nice. Oh, there's a table saw right there, dude. You gotta use that for somebody. You've got.
There's a few things here. Hold on.
Yeah, but that's a table saw. Come on, table saw. Oh, don't die. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh my god.
That's why I like this game. You gotta do more of that.
Alright, I can't do it with this guy. Let's grab Baldy here. Come here. You. Come here.
This is. Oh yeah, I'm really good. What's the dumpster? I forget what the dumpster is. Nice, yeah, he dumpster died. Come on, you can't do that in GTA. Well, not really.
Come on. Bring it on. Oh, I can't use my super counter on him.
Cause he's the boss, yeah.
Because I got all the statues, unlocked all the combat moves, and it gives me this really good counter move.
So you're gonna be forced to use your regular stuff. Okay. Well, you're gonna be relying on one of the. Oh, you countered that.
Yeah, I can do normal counters apparently, but I can't do the big counter.
That's one of the nice things about this is it's made me get better at the. Because like I said, I don't traditionally like the fighting games like this. Well, not the Batman anyway. But this one I actually liked because the storyline kept me involved enough that I was interested in, learning how to use the system. It's very reactive. That's one of the things I liked about it. It punishes you if you screw up. Timing-wise.
Where's Jackie? You're never going to find me.
Oh, this will be fun.
Stop.
To the boss?
Stop.
Oh yeah.
Where's Jackie?
Mini boss,
I don't
whatever it is.
know.
Oh.
I don't know what they did with him. What do you mean you don't know? I was just supposed to kill you. I don't know anything about the other guy.
Sweet.
Who does? DY, 18K's head enforcer. How do I get to him? I don't know. No, I only talk to him by phone.
You tell me, and I might let you live, you stupid fucker.
I only talk to him on my phone.
I just realized I
Here,
haven't had
take
dinner
it.
yet. It's now 4 a.m.
Oh, let me see. Gotta remember my PC specs now.
You're running an i7 with an NVIDIA 570. Which i7 are you running? You run the X58 VGA?
No, I think it's an i7 9 something.
Yeah, you have the one. I've got the 8 whatever. You got the one above me. Of course, mine's changing mine up like
Car exploded on me. Hold on a second. I can do something real quick.
Oh, you can bring up your stats, yeah. Tell you what, the video card I'm running now, dude. Oh yeah, made a huge difference. I'm almost Titan speed. Like I said, I've got an older CPU than you, but I've got the X58 personally, so it's keeping me in the running, and of course the solid state drives, so makes a big difference.
Okay, hold on one moment.
I find myself gaming more on my iPad lately. It's kind of funny.
So let me just bring this up real quick. There we go. So I got it kind of written down because I get the question a bit, but I had to bring it up. So basically I'm running on the 64-bit Windows 7 Ultimate, of course, i7 950, running at about 3 gigahertz. I've got myself about 6 gig of memory. I need to get that upgraded. I've got 3 extra slots I could do that with. NVIDIA's GTX 570 1280. It's an overclock with GDDR5, of course. Unfortunately, I have had to underclock it at times due to certain games wanting to crash with the overclock.
Ironically, one of the ones that I wouldn't expect that to happen, we've had the most trouble with, is Torchlight 2.
Yeah, which is weird because Torchlight 2 worked just fine in beta, and then when the game released, every time I loaded it, it crashed. But it could have been my dual monitor setup because someone mentioned that they had a dual monitor setup and it was crashing on theirs as well. I wonder if it's because I have 2 screens, not because of my card.
Sorry for the incredibly loud, obnoxious airplane flying over a no-fly zone at 4 in the morning. Fucking stupid pilot. Sorry. It's those pilots that make the rest of us look bad. So, I'll put up with that.
Hello?
They just put in a sound monitoring system by where I live, so he probably is going to get a fine.
I'm not talking
Sucks.
to you. Put your boss on.
He's dead.
What,
What?
with your video card, one of the things you may want to look at, like I said, obviously you want to
What plan?
upgrade. You got to get a solid state in there at some point.
I don't know
Makes a
anything
huge,
about any plan.
whoa,
Horseface said if the job went bad, I should call you.
huge
Find out what
difference.
to do with the body.
And I just crashed the game.
Guessing you only
Doesn't
care
Hunter
about
4
one.
death.
So did you kill him or not? Quit
Sweet.
wasting my time.
Maybe it gave me a new
Funny
epic
thing,
piece for
though,
free
he
since the
went out
game's so
swearing.
ready.
I hope you're not afraid of ghosts.
Oh, that just did crash. Oh, man. What else have you unlocked with this guy?
I'm pretty much fully unlocked on all full cops. I got full. Well, no, I'm two away from getting full triad. I've got all my melee training, which is this here. The Denmark was what I was trying to do against that boss, but it wouldn't let me do it.
You got all your cop upgrades?
Yep, I've got all the cop. That was easy to do because the cop missions are so easy to get full experience on. Got face like really early in the game, and I've got all the health upgrades.
Yeah, you like doing all those crazy. Look at that! Holy crap! Yeah, you're definitely ahead of me.
So yeah, I find it interesting that we've gone from a Marvel Heroes stream to pretty much a general gaming stream, and it's working. Welcome everybody. Welcome.
Ah. I guess not as many people are interested in Marvel, right?
Yeah, but it's still the Marvel name is still on it, so I don't know.
It's funny. Yeah, it is funny.
Maybe because people are coming in trying to find out why they can't get in. I don't know.
Why we're streaming Marvel? Yeah, that could be the case.
Yeah, wait a minute. You're streaming Marvel, but Marvel's down. Hey, look, -5 property damage. Oh, look, more property damage. Hack. I don't care. I've already got full cop experience. Why do I need more?
You should get triad experience for that, actually.
Well, for no property damage, I'm losing cop experience.
Well, you're losing cop, yes, but I'm saying if you're trying for triad, who cares?
Whoa!
There's a common theme with this game: inventory full. Yeah. Maybe if you didn't make it $20 for me to buy a freaking inventory slot.
I think I've lost fine-tuned controls on this game from this. I partially think from the streaming. I'm not sure because for whatever reason I feel like my controls aren't responding as smoothly as they could be.
Nah, it's probably that you haven't played this game in a while.
Where did he go?
I think it's user error.
You look like you could use
Completely the user.
I'm gonna have to restart this.
Oh, is it that? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Don't lose your target. You lost your target. What's wrong with you?
Stay on target. Oh, that's why he went into the back room that I didn't even know existed. This is the new Marvel Superheroes game. You play Joe Every Guy. Or maybe this is Spider-Man, because he's climbing up walls.
No, he's the new dim sum. Didn't you know that? The new Asian dim sum character. New hero.
Indeed.
I'm such a
Because he runs up walls, chases down bad guys, and dim sum.
Huh?
Get it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! I barely even know her. What the hell did I just do? What? Now he's doing it again. I'm a monkey.
How do you just leap up that? I couldn't do that in real life.
I don't know.
Did you?
Dude's got a knife. Dude's got a knife.
Pull out your gun. Shoot him.
He took my gun.
Get back. What's wrong with you?
Ugh. I can at least disarm them with that wonderful dash. Hey guys, I got a knife.
Piece of shit.
Kick to the face. Knife! Knife to meet you.
Oh, that was just bad.
Yes, it was. Look, people don't come here for good humor. If they do, then they're silly.
Obviously, have you seen your videos that cover, you know, character creation options? There's a slider for that? I didn't even know!
I didn't even know there's a slider for that.
I love that little movie does like, whoa, at the end. You know?
Salty, this is Wade. I need a boat and I need a gun. Can you meet me in Kennedy Town? And Salty.
Yeah, how much did we get
Get a
this
big
for?
gun, okay? I don't
Because
wanna
we
fuck around.
both saw it. It was the deal of the day on Steam, Midweek Madness, but it was like one of their super ones. Wasn't it like $5 or something?
Oh, I don't think it was that cheap, but it was like really inexpensive. It was like
It was either like $5 or $10. It wasn't much more than that. Because no, it was because I paid. I'm looking at the invoice here. It was $10, and I paid an extra $2 for the ridiculous car with machine guns.
well worth the purchase, obviously.
Oh yeah, it's the best part of the game. Will you stop trying to hump the wall?
Look, I'm trying to get to this thing Whoops. Here. Wait.
thing.
Here. Here. Hello? Thing?
I got a question for you. Have you been following the development of Watch Dogs at all?
You know, I haven't really, but I gotta say the game definitely looks really good.
I've been following some more development on it. The best part about it, in my opinion, from a developer standpoint, is the amazingly powerful new graphics engine that they're not even tapping out yet. They're running it like, I think they said they're running it like, on the demo we saw from the YouTube video, that was at like 50%. So it'll take you a while to get that one open.
That's good. I mean, I think it's always exciting to see new rendering engines or game world engines like that, because you can do wonderful things. I mean, look what DICE is doing with their Frostbite 3 engine that Battlefield 3 was made out of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a really good engine still, and they're starting to really put it into new games. They've been putting it into quite a few games. It looks good. It's got potential. It was really well designed. It was meant to do more than just Battlefield, really.
Well, that's where these game developers make a lot of their money back on, is of course the graphics engines, if they're smart. The most impressive engine I've seen to date, though, on the new one is the new Unreal engine that got released. That thing is phenomenal in how it can be scaled up. And it's going to be interesting to see where things go, because the hardware isn't even out that can fully take advantage of it yet. So, but it's going to be interesting when they do, because you're talking ridiculous stuff. I'm kind of wondering if there's ever going to be any traction on that. Oh crud! What is that 3D device that you wear that they want to use for Star Citizen?
You're talking about the Oculus?
Oculus, thank you. Yeah, I wonder how much traction that's going to get.
Well, did you hear the news about that lately?
I have not heard any news on it. No.
Okay, the co-creator of the Oculus Rift was killed in a hit and run. He was basically hit by, I'm guessing it was a high-speed chase with some gang members or something like that. He wasn't involved in the chase. It was the people that were being chased by the police hit him while trying to evade police, and it tragically killed him. And it sucks because the chase was ended shortly after that.
So I'm fan of the cops just mowing down the perpetrators with gunfire. Fuck it.
Right, a hail of bullets solves everything.
Let them. Hey, you know what? It unfortunately does. Had there been one armed person in the Colorado theaters, things would have been different. And they proved that because they had a guy go crazy in Oregon, in a mall, and a concealed carry person pulled his gun out. And the guy paused because he saw it, stopped, and shot himself. So yeah, it can very well end things before they ever start. So, but anyway, that's a totally different discussion.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's very sad to hear that, It's,
yeah, well, especially as a bystander, That's the worst part about those, the hit and runs on the vehicular stuff, is there's, God, not much you can do. Did they put the project on hold then, or what they decide to do?
That I'm not sure. I mean, obviously they've lost a great contribution, but I'm pretty sure it's more than just him, so they'll probably be able to continue, but I don't know how far it would set them back. So no idea on that. I mean, this is news that just very recently happened.
How long ago?
So, when did that occur? Because I'm trying to think of when I heard this. I think it's just been within the last week.
Oh man, that's a real shame.
So obviously there's not been enough time to really
to
put affairs in order.
Yeah, focus on the funeral and whatnot. That's a real bummer. And the whole gun thing, Troy, and people who are like, oh yeah, guns more bullets don't solve anything. All I have to say is Australia. Look it up. They completely removed guns there, and they have a bigger gun problem now, and more death from guns now than they did when they didn't have guns. And of course, the murder rate with bludgeoning is obviously gone up too. For all the other people who aren't criminals who don't want to get guns, they murder their husbands and wives with knives now. I'd rather be shot, thank you very much. So it's, yeah, it doesn't really fix anything. Problem is, the bad guys are still going to get the guns, no matter what you do. Because that's the nature of the bad guy. So,
Excuse me.
inventory is full, again. God love it.
Oh, you know, I meant to mention this earlier, and I've just been sidetracked every time it came up. Someone earlier, we were talking about Titan's Quest, and someone mentioned how they really love Titan's Quest.
Yeah, I was, what was that?
I wanted to state, for anyone that didn't know, especially since, you know, if you're coming in here for Marvel Heroes, you're probably into action RPGs. There is another action RPG, which is called Grim Dawn, that is looking pretty good. It's in early alpha, though. You can pay to get in, $50 to pay to get into the alpha if you so desire. Otherwise, you can buy the game early for like $20 and you get into beta or something like that. Or is it $30 for beta? There's a few different pricing schemes. What I can tell you from what I've heard, because I personally haven't played it, but I was talking at length with Ziggy D Starcraft, who is another YouTuber out there. He went into the beta and he looked into it, so I watched his videos about it and I talked to him a bit about it, like how does it play, how did you like it, and all that. And from what he told me, it sounds a lot like it's at present kind of a reskin Titan Quest. It is on the old Titan Quest engine.
Interesting.
But it's an early alpha, so it could just be because they're setting it up and they're getting the engine to work that they're using all the old Titan Quest stuff at the moment. It very well could change, so take that as you will. But again, it's not necessarily bad to say that because Titan Quest was a good game.
Oh, yeah.
So a reskin Titan Quest in a different environment, like this is kind of I don't recall what time period you would call it. It's I don't want to call it Victorian. I don't know if that's the right word for it. Maybe more medieval or something like that. But it's definitely darker. Of course, we don't know if we've only seen one actor and whatnot. There's only like 2 or 3 classes in the game so far. But yeah, it's definitely got a Titan Quest vibe. Ziggy had never played Titan Quest, so he wasn't really aware of that. So when I talked to him, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds just like this, that, and that. And he confirmed what my suspicions were, that a lot of them were pretty much came from Titan Quest. But there were some pretty decent mechanics in that, such as replacing your primary attack based on what class you are, and leveling it and whatnot. So, Marvel Heroes may not come up for another couple hours or so. Let me see. When did it go down? It went down about 5 o'clock. They said it would be about 4 hours, so about 3 more hours.
Is their thing up to accept new, like if I wanted to start to create an account yet?
Oh, I don't know, because the website did go down at the same time that the servers went down.
Yeah, I know, because that's kind of what I've been looking for.
I was trying to see if they had patch notes up, and they did have patch notes up, but now the servers... Oh, excuse me, I got hiccups, apparently. But the servers went down before I could actually check said patch notes. I don't know how I'm going to put this on YouTube. It's just, there's going to be like a part of this that's like not Marvel Heroes, and it's going to have the Marvel Heroes name on it. It's going to be awesome.
You do Marvel Heroes / Sleeping Dogs when Marvel Heroes went down. That's what you do.
When superheroes sleep, so do the dogs. Wait. What?
Yeah.
That didn't even make sense.
No.
That made no sense.
That would mean you're sleeping right now playing this, right?
Yes. Yes. We'll go with that. That sounds good. That sounds plausible.
Yeah. Plausible deniability, right? Well, do I want this extra 3% crit gem or not? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
What is it you were playing again? Or you're playing that little free-to-play game on your iOS, right?
Yeah, Dungeon Hunter 4.
Dungeon Hunter 4.
Well, see, the weird thing is this has gone through some really weird iterations through the life. Talk about a game that wasn't sure where they wanted to go. Okay, so the first one came out, really good, defined the series. Dungeon Hunter, of course, being very much like a Diablo clone, to be honest with you. Before Diablo 3 was released, obviously. Very good, had some new ideas, went some interesting directions. Then they came out with Dungeon Hunter 2, which was the new graphics engine, redefined the controls for touch, with the joystick controls, because everyone's like, oh, joystick controls on touch sucks. Yeah, then that came out and redefined them and said this is what they can do with reactive control. Also, the combat became a lot more reactive. Actually, Dungeon Hunter 4's combat feels very much like Diablo 3, how reactive it is and dynamic. That's very good. Very impressive, especially on a touch device. But basically, Dungeon Hunter 2 was more of the same. And then they came out with Dungeon Hunter 3, and this is where they brought the new CFO on board from overseas, and everything got changed. Dungeon Hunter 3 was a huge letdown to the rest of the Dungeon Hunter 2 crowd because they basically went to an all-arena / PvP system type deal. And that's also when they went from the normal paid app to free-to-play. That was their first move to free-to-play.
It's funny you started talking about that right when Railsank said that he played Dungeon Hunter 3 and he said it wasn't so good.
Yeah, Dungeon Hunter 3 was and still is a real piece of shit, to be honest. They went backwards on the controls. The combat got less fluid. If you thought Dungeon Hunter 3 sucked, you really need to go try Dungeon Hunter 2. It, to me, is still the pinnacle benchmark of where the name Dungeon Hunter should be. Dungeon Hunter 4 kind of split the difference and is somewhat Dungeon Hunter 3 and somewhat Dungeon Hunter 2. And then they decided to go with incredibly stupid and insane pricing schemes. So it's, talk about a genre that didn't know where they wanted to go. But basically they saw Dungeon Hunter 4 3 failing the series, and very quickly, I might add, came out with Dungeon Hunter 4 to kind of appease everybody. It'll be interesting to see what the outcry is from this, because everybody, even the mainstream critics, have hardcore hacked Dungeon Hunter 4, saying that their pay-to-win system is beyond absurd. So hopefully they'll scale that back. And the other interesting thing is Dungeon Hunter 4 was the first one in which is so freaking buggy, still is, even though it's better with the latest patch, that you can hack the game even without having a rooted iPad or a unlocked iPad. You can actually still hack the game with other tools. And it's cost GameLoft an estimated $100 million at this point. So this is a major fuck up on their part. And they're talking about getting rid of their CFO, which I'm all in favor for, because he basically ruined this genre and made the free-to-play so ridiculously priced that, nobody was mine. So, but pick it up. It's good. It's free to play. It's realized its faults. It's definitely better than free, a lot better than free, but it's still got quite a few number of issues. And if you like advertising, well, here's a good way of not to do it.
If you like advertising.
Yeah. Dude, I want a boat like that in real life. It's like an $80,000 boat right there. Dude, you just got shot in the head and shrugged it off.
Because I'm badass, yo.
I love computer games. Now, are you using the mouse and keyboard, or are you using your joystick?
Oddly enough, I'm using a gamepad.
You are using a gamepad for this.
Because I just found it so much easier to use a gamepad for the driving sections.
I did for that and the combat. I actually tried the keyboard for the combat, and it feels better on the joypad. But the new Tomb Raider 4, I'm actually using the keyboard and mouse because I'm just that much more accurate with the shooting.
Yeah, it was in this game. Thankfully, there's enough of an aim assist when you're using a gamepad And it, you know, automatically detects when you're using a gamepad, so that's great. But I've noticed that the keyboard and mouse controls for melee combat weren't actually that bad. So if it wasn't for everything else, you know, I prefer driving with a gamepad.
Well, yeah, a digital all the way full right, or, you know, all the way full right versus all the way full left versus, you know, an analog 3% is a big difference when you're driving. Big difference. Tower defense games on the iPad are pretty good. They get boring real quick for me. I like a variety. I play. To give you an idea, Trey, and this is something I meant to cover, because of the cost of free to play and the fact that, you know, I'm willing to pick up a $5 game to try it. I went back through my purchases and took a look at my iTunes. I've purchased 62 games since I purchased the iPad 3 years ago. Of course, I'm only playing it on the iPad Mini right now. But that's if you really look at the investment, more than I have invested in AAA titles for my Xbox in the last 2 years. Of course, I've been buying the AAA titles on the PC lately instead, so kind of skewed numbers there maybe, but you know, it obviously shows that I'm more willing to try a little game for a lower cost than a full-price AAA title. I'm a lot more hesitant in buying those and review them more. So, you know, something to be said for that. But some of the other games that I've actually really enjoyed that I didn't expect to, and this is one you'd really like to try, it's called Middle Managers of Justice. It's this little free-to-play, very well, reasonably priced. I haven't actually put a dime into it, but I'm going to. Just haven't had time to go back. But you are a middle manager of justice, managing superheroes, sending them out on tasks. And it's just this cute little, funny, crazy thing I wouldn't expect to like. Another one is Ski Safari that I never thought I'd like, but the controls are so simple. You tap the screen or tap and hold the screen, that's it. But it's just this, that's so well done that, you know, it's interesting to see what people come up with. There are some really good ports. The Walking Dead is an amazing port on the iPad. There is a pinball collection. The developer that makes this Pinball Collection HD. Some of the best pinball games I've ever played, including on PC. They're really, really good. Little Inferno is an amazing port. I don't know if any of you guys have played that on Steam. Fun, little, pointless game to burn anything to your heart's desire. But that whole project for that developer started as an art project for school, and just one thing led to another.
I thought Little Inferno started as a pad game and then was ported to PC.
Wrong. It actually started as a Steam game, then ported to the iPad. Now, it started as an art project. The whole point was to try to replicate some sort of fireplace and fire. They just kind of kept taking it one step further. It was developed by, what, like 5 guys, 3 guys, something like that?
By the way, for anyone that may be interested in Little Inferno, here's what we got a segue for you. Humble Indie Bundle. HumbleBundle.com.
Yeah.
Little Inferno is available on the Humble Indie Bundle. Pay what you want. Get 5 games. Pay more than the average price. Get 7 games. The average price is like less than $6. You can't say no to that. And it goes to charity. Darn it.
And the Humble Bundle is actually, there's a lot. This Humble Bundle is really good. Talk about, and it's not a segue, by the way. That's called a plug when you're advertising something else. Segue is when you move from one section to the other.
Dude, that segued perfectly into the plug. All right, it was a plug segue.
Yes, I will give you that. You segued into the plug.
It was a plugway. All right.
Plugway?
It was a plugway, or is a seg. I can't say it. I can't combine the beginning of segue with the end of plug.
I guess the question with that then is: are you a brunch or are you a lunkfest? See, I'm the lunkfest type.
Wow.
Never thought I'd get to use that word again. Best word ever. Lunkfest.
Oh, man. But beautiful thing, if anyone is interested, beautiful thing about this one, too, is a lot of the games on this bundle are making their Linux debut.
Yes.
So if you're a Linux gamer...
Yes, that's a must.
Listen, I need a favor.
Actually, the...
Say no.
One of them is an
Wayne.
exclusive on Linux only.
Just dug me out of a grave.
Come to the election. Tell
If you
them what
look, if
happened.
you look
Just
actually
tell your
closely,
story.
it's only
I'll
on
make sure the
Linux.
triad treats you right.
Oh, man.
Forget which one.
Shit, man.
But yeah,
Alright. This is for you,
there's
Wayne.
just so much that can be done
Not
with
the
mobile
fucking
the way it's
son I
going. I
eat.
mean, give it another couple years, it will have, without question, the same graphics capability as a mainstream desktop. No question about it. It just comes down to the user interface, how you want to control whatever you want to do.
I'm having fun making waves, by the way.
Surprisingly, what has surprised me is that with the games out like Dungeon Hunter 3 and all those other guys, nobody has really made a third-party aftermarket game controller for an iPad or any Android. Not one that works with the band anyway.
Yeah, it's and that's again that kind of goes back to the OIA or the EOR or whatever the hell you want to call it. It was supposed to help with that because it's like to say, hey, look, Android can be a viable system for making games on, and the problem with games on the mobile devices is not having that standardized control scheme.
Well, yeah, because that's a huge problem. Because and then you got to remember, you got to still hold the device because, well, it is a mobile device. So a lot of people tend to forget that and try to put too many buttons on or have this crazy swipe thing when you're trying to hold it with one hand and use a joystick at the same time. Yeah, it doesn't work. So it's kind of interesting.
So I got a question here from Forsen here about Marvel Heroes, actually, so we can go ahead and answer that real quick since that was the title of the stream. I should answer it. So if you didn't buy an early access pack for Marvel Heroes, do you get GP so you can buy a hero like in beta, or can you only choose between the 5? The Gs that we were given in beta were pretty much gifted to us for testing, and they were giving us a certain amount per day. You don't get that anymore. It is basically if you didn't pay anything for the game, you will be given nothing. You will be given no Gs. You will have a choice of 5 heroes at the very beginning. You pick that hero, and once you get through the introduction area, the raft, and you beat Green Goblin, spoilers.
You should say spoilers before, but yeah, that's okay.
Look, it's the tutorial area. It was a joke.
I'm giving you a hard time.
You beat Greenie, and you will be given, I believe at random, one of the other 4 heroes. So you'll have a total of 2 characters to start off with. Once you beat Dr. Doom, which I'm guessing is the end boss because I couldn't get that far yet. Once you beat Dr. Doom in the game, which is near the end, I'm like one or two chapters away from the end myself, and I haven't fought him yet. You will be given yet another random hero of the 5. So you should have a total of 3 of the starting 5 heroes. And that's assuming that you don't have any luck and don't find any other tokens. So the rest of the time you're going to be hoping to find tokens in the world. Now I did find 1 token in the world from Ms. Marvel, and that was just from a random treasure chest. So it is a rare and very random chance to get tokens in the game. But you will at least have a choice of 3 heroes if you play through the game normally. So there is that. They don't make it so that you're only stuck with 1. But make sure you pick your favorite first.
I finally got my 10% low battery warning. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of problems they have on this official launch day.
Oh, what? Do you think the game will go down for another full day because something else breaks?
I don't know.
I feel bad for
how
them.
they planned for it.
I feel bad for them. I really do. But it's been crazy with the bugs and whatnot. I think maybe they pushed a little bit too quickly for this.
Yeah, it seemed to me that it would have been a good time for open beta, but not full release. But again, is this really? Then we go back into the discussion of is open beta really open beta anymore? Or is it actually?
I want to check out the building, make sure that Big Smiley isn't planning any surprises. But we got some time.
So what is it?
I almost bought it today, man.
I'd have to actually argue the. Oh, really?
I think I'm just gonna go take a walk or something.
I'll let the cutscene.
Got some shit to think about.
Sure, man. It's cool.
I'll see you tomorrow or something.
All right. Don't do anything stupid.
I had hardly any triad experience. Please say I got to level 9 at least. Yes. Oddly enough, it says I'm level 10, but that bug has happened every single time I've leveled. It's weird.
Is that really a bug for you? I haven't encountered that.
Yeah, every time it levels, it goes up to 10, but it's not really 10.
Weird. What'd you do to your operating system? I'm just kidding. Do you actually run any Linux distros?
I have not. I never got into it.
I need to get you a couple. If you're starting off, I'd recommend Mint to any viewers too. Yeah, definitely good. It is going to be interesting moving forward too, because your Windows and of course your Mac are running more and more towards Unix/Linux in the way they program and operate, which is good because Unix is basically the ultimate OS. The way it was supposed to be, damn it. And then the government got involved.
How often do I stream? That's a good question.
Boy, that's been sporadic lately.
Oh, well, lately it's been mostly consistent because I've been coming on after work to do Marvel Heroes. So the last week or so has been kind of the same. I didn't do it yesterday because I opted to get the Humble Indie Bundle video out because, charity. I haven't streamed for a long time, to be honest with you, because of my late night hours, because of, this time. But seeing as how there are some people coming on, I might do it more often. But I never really had a scheduled stream time. I work on the East Coast, and I work late. I work like 2:30 to 11, and then when I get home, I'm usually spend an hour and a half to 2 hours, between eating and spending time with family, as it were. So yeah, it is kind of sporadic, because then I also have to take into effect that I have to record, well, I don't have to, but I try to record YouTube videos as well.
That I did get one of your comments on your videos that I didn't see you respond to it. Was asking about your stream, and was asking you if you ever were going to do a kind of a scheduled setup. And I was kind of wondering if that's something you ever wanted to ever do, or if you just kind of want to keep it more casual.
My place is a little boring.
Because you do announce when
No
you
fan
stream,
of the movies can live
you
without
throw it
one
out
of
on
these
Twitter and
posters.
your channel and whatnot.
All right.
I thought about it. I thought of making kind of a schedule for myself where maybe I take one day and I stream, or set number of days and stream to make it more consistent. I just don't know yet. I mean, honestly, even the YouTube channel itself is kind of a product of a hobby and kind of more of a labor of love for games, and it really is a business. I mean, I definitely, I still have my channel monetized, and it helps a bit, but I definitely don't earn enough for it to be, my main focus at times, because that, and I don't really get enough time to really be like, I can't be like one of the major YouTube guys where they can set up a schedule, they can basically spend a lot of their time working on their content. I really can't do that because I actually have to work. It makes it kind of difficult, so I can't do, so I find it hard. Like I can't really do daily shows, or the thing I definitely haven't been able to do is like news, because I can't keep up with the news while I'm working usually. But so I live vicariously through other people. So I guess I didn't really answer the question how often I stream. Like I said, I hadn't really done it that often until recently, but I may do it more often.
It might not be a bad idea. I was thinking to say maybe set one day aside to where because you do it for when you do the videos. You might as well just do it for the streaming too, and just have a day off and stream and do whatever you want for that day, but you're streaming, whatever game you play. Might not be a bad idea. Totally your choice.
Yeah, that's definitely one I'll have to think about. But I usually announce something on my Twitter feed if I'm going to go live, and it's usually going to be around. This is kind of like near the tail end of when I stream, because I usually, I have to go to bed for around this time, and I push it sometimes. I can't help it. It's a labor of love. I stay up way too late.
Yeah, sleep is for the weak. You'll get enough sleep when you're dead. Right?
Pretty much.
That's what they keep telling me anyway.
I don't know. When I'm dead, I probably won't even sleep.
I'll be too busy haunting people.
Oops. Oops. I totally didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Sorry.
What did you just... I missed what you did there.
Sorry. Sorry. I stole a taxi.
You're missing my vehicle with machine guns to hose the people down.
I meant to actually hire the taxi, and
Oh,
unfortunately,
Wrong button.
No, it's the same button. You have the button you use to hijack cars is the button you use to hire taxis, but you have to be standing in a certain spot in front of the taxi, and you have to hold the button. I accidentally just pressed the button, and so Wei decided I would rather not pay for the taxi. I'll just take it.
Aren't you after triad points? Why are you driving cleanly?
Because I don't get triad points for not driving cleanly. Oh! 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 Oh, I just wrapped myself around a telephone pole. Ow! Oh!
Man, that was awesome because I knew something was coming before we saw it.
I'm okay, really. I'm okay. Oh.